Michael Jordan, the leading scorer in the NBA, has averaged 34 against Detroit, but has not hit 50% in any game against the Pistons, who control the opening tip. Vincent is on Thomas. Sellers will be guarding Lane Beer. Likes to move outside. Dantley, with his familiar inside moves, gives Detroit the lead.
Well, right off the bat, we see a mistake by Chicago defensively. They want to double down on Adrian Dantley as soon as he puts the ball on the floor.
He starts after 19 games on the bench, was out 10 with a sprained ankle. Not 100% though. Jordan, turnaround over Dumars. And Oakley boxed out Mahorn well.
Michael Jordan is known to be a slow starter.
He was a slow starter in Portland the other night and then ran off 20 consecutive points to the amazement of even his coach, Doug Collins.
Yeah, he's just playing magnificent basketball for this team.
Lane Beer hits outside. Lane Beer, frankly, is below standards in shooting, scoring, and rebounding from a year ago. In fact, he's amongst his career low in a lot of those categories, but he hits that shot, and if he gets going.
Well, rebounding, one of the reasons is Mahorn and Rodman have done so well on the defensive boards.
Sellers misses everything, might have skimmed the rim, and it's going to be Pistons ball. The Detroit Pistons losing 3 in a row for the first time, as we mentioned, and the last team in the NBA, by the way, to have lost 3 in a row. That says a lot. Dantley with a good step on Sellers, and no basket if it goes. A foul is called against Chicago, and it'll be against Brad Sellers.
Well, when you're playing Andrea Dantley, you can't allow him to receive the basketball that close to the basket. You have to force him out on the court. If anything, give up the jump shot.
Isaiah Thomas has had a tremendous week, scoring a lot more. Gets it into Mahorn. So already the Pistons have scored with the two forwards, Mahorn and Dantley, both inside.
During this bad stretch for Detroit, it hasn't been their starts, it's been their finishes.
Speaking of finishes, there's Sam Vincent. In 18 games has been scoring and feeding off. He's in double figures assist-wise. And as Billy mentioned, the tempo for the Bulls has increased dramatically. Against Corzine, Mahorn is short, and Corzine gets the rebound. You know, Bill, besides Vincent, Corzine has really come to play at center. He's been a big help.
And a big factor, Doug Collins has been able to use his minutes more effectively.
Jordan with his second basket. Dantley against Oakley, giving up a lot of inches. But he knows how to do it, doesn't he?
Well, so far in this basketball game, it's just one pass and a shot, easy basket for either team. Neither team has been able to establish any intensity defensively.
2.5 gone by. Pistons by 2. Jordan can go wild at any time, averaging over 34 a game. And Dumars committing the foul. Make it Rick Mahorn. Mahorn's first foul.
You know, Doug Collins said, watching Michael Jordan, every game he shows him something new. It's, you know, the great players have that ability. They have such a repertoire of offensive moves or defensive moves.
Oakley. Baseline shot. Oakley
from Michael Jordan.
We're tied at 8. Again, they go into the low post. The Pistons obviously starting out with inside play. Dumars, Joe Dumars, having his best year, a superb two-way guard, and the Pistons have hit 5 of their first 6. Coming right back is Vincent. Mahorn clears. Haven't really had any fast breaks yet. It's been a half-court game so far. Thomas fighting inside. Lane Beer boxed out Brad Sellers and got the basket.
Right now, the Chicago Bulls are just flat. They're not on their toes defensively. They're not reacting well at the defensive end of the court.
They won 4 out of 5 on the road. They started the year winning 8 of their first 9 away from Chicago Stadium. Jordan foul. And Dumars picks up his first foul, and Michael Jordan will go to the line.
Joe Dumars plays Michael Jordan as well as anybody in this league. And if he gets in foul trouble, that really puts a great deal of pressure on Chuck Daly. Does he go with Vinnie Johnson to play him? I would expect, if that case, that he'd probably go with Dennis Rodman coming off the bench.
Rodman is a forward, but at 6'7", can play big guards.
But that's going to be a problem now. What is he going to do offensively? And if he is in there against Michael Jordan, he'll probably look to post him up as much as he can.
Jordan leading the Bulls in virtually every offensive category and leads the NBA in steals as well. He has made himself into a mighty fine defensive player.
Well, I can't believe that he won't be first-team all-defense this year in the NBA.
Fighting through the screen was Jordan. Dumars long range. Sometimes that's the problem the Pistons get into when they start to go perimeter exclusively.
And not looking to penetrate.
Oakley gets inside and gets the layup.
Charles Oakley.
Well, there's the effect of Sam Vincent. They're able to get out and run. Oakley looking to fill the lane.
Tied at 12, just under 8 minutes to go in the first period.
Doug Collins feels if they have to go to their set offense against Detroit, they have a great deal of problems getting any kind of a shot offensively.
Laimbeer hits. Now there's the guy who should be shooting outside shots, trying to get the break going off the hands of Jordan. They turn it over and Detroit takes over.
Just a poor decision by Charles Oakley trying to make that long outlet pass.
Pistons with the ball and a 2-point lead.
But sometimes when you're looking to run and change your personality, you have to live with some turnovers such as that.
Dantley fouled by Oakley, who doesn't like the call. And now Corzine and Mahorn have to be separated. These two teams have no love lost for each other. They were engaged in a huge melee earlier in the season and resulted in a lot of fines.
A lot of fines. As a matter of fact, they probably paid for a few college educations with the amount of fines that was set by the league.
I don't know why Corzine and Mahorn don't get along. They were both backups to Wes Unseld with the Bullets.
Well, they learned from the master on how to be a physical player.
Inbounding will be Adrian Dantley. Oakley and Sellers, each with personal fouls. Dantley goes in. Sellers gets a piece of it. Another chance inside for Mahorn, and a foul.
You see what happens when penetration occurs. The guy might not get the basket, but it takes your defense out of position and allowed Mahorn, who will come into your picture. You see 3-4 Bulls in the picture. No one looking to check out Mahorn, and here he is just sliding in for that offensive rebound.
Corzine picks up the foul, his first. Ricky Mahorn on the line. He was out 6 games with a lower back strain. He is not 100% either, but Chuck Daly says, I've got to get him in there now with around 12 games to play in the season and find out what they can do. There's no sense in just keeping him out.
The big key to watch about Mahorn is when he goes out of the game and has to come back in. Does his lower back stiffen up?
15-12 Detroit. Mild pressure by the Pistons. They try to trap Vincent. Jordan handling. Any kind of open court, he's dangerous. Oakley had it and lost it out of bounds off Corzine, and it'll be Pistons ball. And with 6:59 remaining in the first period, the teams are kind of feeling each other out in the early going. A 3-point lead, Detroit in front. Pistons are playing at Indiana. That game not yet underway, and we'll bring you up to date on that score. A little more than halfway remaining as Laimbeer tries to get a pass to Dantley, and another Chicago foul, and that will put them into the penalty. That's the 5th team foul, and it'll be the second on Brad Sellers. First substitution of the game from the Chicago bench, Scottie Pippen, good-looking rookie who was the 5th pick out of Central Arkansas. Had a good start early, and then his confidence waned, and now he's trying to get it back.
And that's what will happen with a rookie going through the transition from college to pros.
Mahorn gets the basket. The correction, that was only the 4th team foul on Chicago, so obviously they didn't shoot. But Detroit won't mind. They got the basket, and they have a 5-point lead. Scottie Pippen. Oakley taking an outside shot, which is not his shot, and Doug Collins shows his dismay on the bench. Isaiah Thomas banging it off the glass for his first basket of the ballgame.
You just wonder when you watch Chicago right now, is fatigue a problem? After playing in Portland a couple of nights ago and having to fly in the 3-hour time change, as well as having to push our clocks ahead.
You remember to do that?
No, I didn't. Thank goodness you called me for breakfast.
Thomas commits the foul. The basket didn't count. That is the 3rd team foul against Detroit. But Doug Collins' crew beat the Clippers before that and lost to Seattle in a game that they could have won, so they're very pleased with what they did out west.
And with a young team, it's so important. They've won 4 out of their last 5 on the road, which is such a big factor for a young team.
No hoop there. Foul before the shot. Laimbeer, his first foul, and that's the 4th team foul against Detroit. Pistons have scored 7 in a row to break a 12-12 tie.